Okay, so we are continuing our football club history series. We've just done Hanover 96. Now, the team that finished second place on the channel survey is FC St. Pauli from Hamburg. So they were founded on the 13th of May 1910. Again, a very historical club in Germany. They play at the Millantor Stadion in Hamburg, which has a 29,546 capacity. So a more reasonable capacity for a Bundesliga 2 side. But this club is very, very interesting. Not only is it a football club, it also has other departments in other sports. So as of April last year, it had 30,400 members. That's quite a few members. So that's more members than the actual stadium capacity. The club has departments in rugby, baseball, bowling, boxing, chess, cycling, handball, roller derby. Yep, that's classed as a sport. Skittles, softball, table tennis, and as of 2011, marathon. They also, until 2013, had an American football department. So it's a very, very interesting club dynamic. A lot of clubs in Europe really do have this community aspect where they are multi-sports clubs, but they are most famous, obviously, for their footballing department. Very, very interesting club. Now, the recent league history, however, is a bit disappointing. They have appeared in the Bundesliga in recent years. However, in 2003, they were relegated to the Regional Liga, which is the third tier of German football. They stayed there until 2007 when they were promoted to the second tier Bundesliga, the Bundesliga 2. It was in 2010 that they got promoted back to the Bundesliga. They hadn't been there for many, many years at this point. They spent one season in the Bundesliga, really struggled to stay up. Very small budget, very, very, very members-only club, really. They were relegated down in 2011 to the Bundesliga 2, where they have stayed ever since. So they really are a cult club. These are the ultimate underdogs of not only German football, but they are a cult club, and I'll discuss their cult club status in a bit. But they do have some rivalries, obviously most famously with Hamburger SV, obviously HSV, the big club in Hamburg, who are currently also stuck in Bundesliga 2, and they've been there since 2018 with a very famous relegation. They have not got back to the top flight. Very, very interestingly, they also are stuck in the Bundesliga 2 with Kaiserslautern, Fortuna Düsseldorf. You've got Schalke are in there. So it's a very, very congested second tier with some really big clubs in Germany with big fan bases stuck in the Bundesliga too. It actually shows that the German league is a lot more competitive than the Bayern Munich dominance that we've seen in the trophy cabinet in recent years. It really is. So that's their biggest rivals. But in recent years, Hansa Rostock, another club on the North German coast, has become a major rival. We'll do a video on Hansa Rostock at some point. Now, when I said they were classed as a cult club, they have a lot of fans outside Germany, and the supporters are very, very well known for being very left to far left leaning in their politics as well. It's a hotbed of people who not really like mainstream society, so to speak. During the 1930s, during the Nazi era, this was a focal club for anti-Nazi activities, with a lot of communists and socialists went to FC St. Pauli games and became members of the club basically in protest at the far-right Nazi government, the National Socialist government, and that has stuck with the club since the post-war and during the reunification process of Germany in the early 90s. Now, this is when I was living in Germany as a young little whippersnapper when my dad was in the British Army. So this has become a hotbed of the fan base. The majority of the fan base have very left-leaning trade union backgrounds. Hamburg, one of those cities at the end of the First World War, for example, not long after the Kiel Mutiny, a lot of left-wing leaning politicians and members of society basically rose up against the Kaiser, which led to the ultimate collapse of the German Empire. That stuck through the 20s as well, and it's part of the club's supporter identity. Very, very working class club. In the St. Pauli district. The St. Pauli district is a very bohemian district in Hamburg if you know your Hamburg architecture and socio-economics and how the demographics work in Hamburg. Very, very interesting club. The true ultimate underdog, and that's where they get that cult club status with a lot of fans outside Germany who pick St. Pauli for political reasons or social reasons, where they are seen as the punks on the block, going against the establishment. They have a very, very interesting fan base, very vocal fan base, and it's a club that with their history, it is really surprising that they haven't had that success. But it's also very interesting with the other departments the club actually has. It has a lot of departments, as I say, and some very obscure sports as well, like roller derby and skittles, for example. And as I say, from 2011, they now have that marathon part of the club, where marathon runners will be members of the club to train for the German Olympic team, for example, and take part in these big marathons like the London Marathon, the Boston Marathon, the Berlin Marathon. Very, very interesting club. I would love to know a lot more about FC St. Pauli, but as I say, really interesting cult club. A lot of people who have never even followed football know who St. Pauli are, but a lot of football fans don't pay a lot of attention to FC St. Pauli. They do obviously have that big derby match in Hamburg against HSV, who we'll be doing a video on shortly. Very interesting club. But the most interesting club that I've been researching lately is coming soon. It's a bit of a surprise and a bit of an unknown, but it had a fair bit of success and also was a trailblazer in its own right in the 70s in Germany. But from me for now, thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts in the comments section below about FC St. Pauli. It's a shame they haven't really established themselves in the Bundesliga, because it will be really interesting seeing them as an underdog do well in the Bundesliga, do well in the German Cup and ruffle a few feathers. But that's what they've been doing in the lower leagues in Germany since foundation in 1910. So there we go. Thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts in the comments section below. I'll have some more content for you guys very, very soon.